Yeah, I think I figured out my issue with Twitch yesterday, Colin. I was uploading like an hour-long video to YouTube for Connor while doing it, and I forgot that was running in the background.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I was lagging so bad.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. I was having a look at the was it you transferred all the videos from Twitch feed onto the YouTube channel?
Yeah, I transferred them over. I just got to redo the titles and stuff.
You can take down the one that I done because that's a complete mess.
Is it?
Yeah, I crashed 3 times.
That's when you crashed. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it just ends right in the middle, and that's when I had all the internet issues.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can take that one down. That one is a complete and total mess.
I'll pull that one for you then. Okay.
I'm missing all this stuff because I can't stream anything in this damn DSL.
I'm putting everything on the YouTube, so
okay.
It'll all be over there afterwards. But yeah, I was uploading a video for Connor, and it was like an hour long. And I was running Twitch at the same time, and I'm like, why is everything lagging so bad? Because I don't use Wi-Fi. I plug in directly. And I'm like, man, I'm not getting enough frame rate here. I'm watching it, and it's like stuttering all over the place. And then later on, I realized, oh shit, I got that video uploaded.
Jeez.
So that's what happened. Oh well, let me start something officially here then. So
all right.
So I have a starting point. And welcome back to the Modcast, Redux. We're gonna round table style it. So we got Andrew, who knows nothing about mods.
Hello, I'm ignorant.
Hello, ignorant. Pleased to meet you.
Blake, who I believe was learning about mods.
Yeah, I'm still in training, using Victor and Colin as my trusted Sherpas through the modding world.
Colin, who's a master of something.
Yeah, master debater. Hello.
And of course, Victor, who knows everything about mods, we'll say.
I know everything except for the things I don't know.
Exactly. And I know very little and use the workshop. So that explains my level. So we have all kinds of different levels of usage and knowledge of mods, we'll say. Ranging from Andrew to Victor and everywhere in between, basically. So
I'm glad to be a bookend with you, Victor.
I'll wave to you across the skill books.
So, do we want to start out with Andrew? Do you just want to ask some questions then?
Well, I'm just about to get into modding for the first time, but that includes actually getting the actual machine to run the game and the mods and everything. So I'm about to invest into a gaming PC, and just at the very basic, the very beginning of the process. So I was just going to ask you guys, what are the actual materials you need? What instruments do you need? What are the machines? What sort of, so I assume you'll have me get some sort of computer tower and a graphics card and this and that and RAM, so I just need to know everything from step one. So I could either go on hours and hours delving into different websites and doing research on my own, or I could just pawn my responsibilities off onto you guys and you can tell me what I should do.
That's what I did.
So I don't have any specific questions exactly, but with Colin, he was buddied up with the Nine Nights fellas when Blake was doing that, and they helped him get a really nice modding system PC, playing gaming PC together. So I don't know if Blake has the starter suggestion. What do you think, Blake? Where should I go?
Have you set a budget as far as how much you can spend?
Well, that's another question I have for you guys. What should be a budget? Should it be $500? Should it be $800? Should it be, I was hoping not to go too much over 8 or 1,000, but.
Right. Is that for the whole thing, monitor and all?
Oh, no, because I have another monitor. I just got a different recording rig, a Macintosh, or not, they don't call it Macintosh anymore.
Wow, that's an old one there.
I'm back in the 80s, guys. I got that's the last time I owned an Apple, is when it was called Macintosh. But we just got a Mac Mini recording rig purchased. We haven't got it set up yet, but we're about to set that up, and we're going to set it up so that I share a monitor and have 2 different computers.
Oh, okay.
So I've got all the ancillary little like keyboards and all that stuff. I assume you guys will recommend a specific mouse too. I would prefer, control gaming like Michael. I don't like. Well, actually, I don't know that I dislike PC gaming because I've actually never really tried it, other than a Bard's Tale on the Apple IIe back in the day.
Wow.
So.
Oh wow.
Yes, I have a real hard time with controllers. I'm such an old PC gamer, so it's like the mouse and keyboard feels really natural. The only disadvantage to the mouse and keyboard is especially when you're sneaking. The analog sticks are really nice for that because you can really vary your speed. Which you can't do so well with the mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
You get hotkeys with lots of hotkeys with the mouse and keyboard.
Yeah, exactly, and so there's a lot more selectability of stuff. And
what do you mean by hotkeys? Is that like a specific different set of keys that are on a keyboard, or is that just like you can assign keys to do different things? I don't even know what hotkey means.
Yeah, they're mainly just all the numbers at the top of your keyboard there.
Yeah.
So number 1, that will be your sword. Number 2 will be your healing spell. Number 3 will be a firebolt spell.
Okay, that's cool.
And then you just go all the way up to 8, I think. No, 9. Sorry, I think 9. And then you can actually. I've got a mod installed called "More Hotkeys, Please." And,
you can use letters too.
Yeah, I can use my entire keyboard to hotkey loads of extra stuff.
Oh,
Specific
wow. Nice.
conjuration spells and.
Oh, cool. So that's where I am. I'm at the very beginning of the process, so we don't have to jump right into my stuff. You guys can get into your stuff and like hit me up every once in a while. I don't really care how you want to get into the show, but that's where I am at with modding, just at the very beginning. So if you have suggestions, I will take them.
Here's how I did it, and I am like you, a novice completely.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't want to build anything because I just quite frankly don't have the time to put into building anything. So I ended up just purchasing something, and I think I spent like $700.
Okay. And with a $700 investment, will that keep you in the PC gaming world pretty close to the top for the next few years at least, or is this something that you'll have to?
I'll probably have to upgrade
update
something coming up here, but I mean, right now I can run everything I'm running on high or ultra high. So.
Okay, and are you on a desktop or did you get a laptop for that?
No, it's that Alienware Alpha console / it's really just a desktop in a small box.
Yeah, Alienware is really good branding. I mean, that's one of the better ones you can, because they've always been like towards gamers. That's where they started, was building gamer rigs. And now I think Dell owns them.
Yeah, I think they're owned by Dell, but yeah. I'm not in love with the Alienware UI that's specific in the Alpha.
What does UI mean?
Their user interface, where you go directly to a game from that. I usually just go to the desktop. I don't really mess with that much, but.
I mean, I think the most important thing you can do is spend money on your graphics card. Do not buy a computer with integrated graphics, and
what does that mean? What is integrated graphics?
Well,
mean?
you don't want it built onto the motherboard. You want a separate graphics card, preferably NVIDIA. AMD is okay, but NVIDIA is probably the gold standard these days.
Can you spell that NVIDIA?
Yeah, NVIDIA. NVIDIA.
Okay, NVIDIA.
I think the generally thought of as one of the better ones is the 760 Ti now. It's the back end. It's the trailing edge. There's more expensive ones available, but that one's still a pretty powerful card, and that'll keep you modding happily and PC gaming in general happily for quite some time if you can get a machine with one of those in it. And then you can always upgrade your RAM later. You can always upgrade your storage if you don't get a terabyte drive right away. You can add. They're cheap.
Yeah.
If you can throw an SSD in there, that'd be great, but you can do that later.
And that is a solid state drive, right?
Yeah.
What does that do for you? Okay, it's a faster.
Yeah.
Say that again, Colin.
It takes you to warp.
To warp. Huh.
Yeah, load times are just, I mean, you know what load times are like on the 360? Well, they're about half that on a PC in general, and then if you put Skyrim on an SSD, they're a quarter of that or less. I mean, it's the load time is
Nice.
just in seconds. So,
That's great.
yeah, so it makes it.
So, Victor, do you build stuff from scratch generally when you do a new computer? Do you just get like sort of a rack and just start loading in piece by piece? Do you build something? Or
I
do you
used
buy
to did,
something?
but I haven't in many years. That's how my kids and I all, you know, a new game would come out, so of course I'd need a new computer to play it. So I'd build a computer and give them my last one, and so we ended up with lots of computers in the house. So yeah, I used to build a lot of assemble.
Yeah.
It's not building; it's just assembling.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I'm probably
remember-
going to again in a year or so. But right now I'm using a laptop.
I remember that's what Blake suggested to keep stuff on the more affordable side, was you could make it more powerful but keep it more affordable if you actually assembled everything yourself. Do you still believe that, Blake?
Right, and when I started my budget, I had to buy a monitor, a new monitor, and stuff like that for mine, so it kind of jacked my price up a little bit. But when I built my computer, I tried to keep it case and all around $600.
Okay, that
Which-
sounds good.
When I started selecting parts for it, I ended up with stuff that was, you know, super fast 2 years ago, you know, but may not have been the most current, and now that's really starting to show for me, though.
Yeah. And how long ago did you build your computer?
I think it was either 2 or 3 years ago now, and then
Okay,
but the stuff in it then was already outdated by like 2 years.
Okay, so you're about on 5-year-old. Was it your graphics card you said that you could really see it on?
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
to upgrade it, the CPU and stuff, the RAM is still fine. It's just a
Uh-huh.
matter of just upgrading the video card for me now.
And how much is like a video card? Well, let's do a little video card talk. What is that going to run you? What is like sort of a good base level that you'd want to invest in to start out with? And
Well, they've got. I
do you
think
have
it's
a
called,
brand name that you like?
like the NVIDIA Titan is what, thousands of dollars, like $1,100 or something like that. I think.
Yeah,
That's like the top of the line. And then you've got them. I mean, you can do everything from even run 2 video cards at the same time.
Yeah, SLI, that was like big, just starting to get big when I stopped the PC gaming back in like 2005 or so. No, I started up again. It seems to be like common now. You can just
Right.
do that on, yeah.
What would you say that process was called, Victor?
SLI, scan line, interleaving. It's just the, yeah, it's just the. Oh no, trust me, you don't want to spend the money on it, and it's
Right.
really not that. It's not that important for the kind of stuff we're doing.
Okay.
It's just it just makes it means you can, like, you know, load 6 billion graphics mods into Skyrim and nothing will crash.
Right.
You know, I don't know, a GTX 760, the NVIDIA chip is going in around $300, so that's a big chunk of your budget. So I don't know if you want to do that or not. But I've been out of it so long, you know. It's like I know some things, but I don't know where the you know, NVIDIA and AMD both license their chips, so you can buy their chips on cheaper cards. You don't have to buy an NVIDIA brand card. You can buy a Gigabyte card, or there's several other manufacturers that make cards with the same chipsets on them.
Right.
Shopping. There's lots of really good sites out there for you know, PC building and advice.
Okay, that sounds good. What, without giving them too much of a deep plug, since they're not sponsoring, do you have a couple that you suggest?
What's that one? Tom's or something like that?
Yeah, Tom's Hardware is excellent. Yeah.
Tom's Hardware. Yeah, it has like it'll basically, people make builds and put the list on there of what to buy.
Cool.
Yeah.
Tom's Hardware.
Yeah, he's been around forever.
Yeah.
It's a good reference site.
Oh,
Okay.
definitely a good reference. Yeah, I went through there a lot when I was like going back and forth on what to get, just to see what the different options were and things like that. And in the end, it just came down to me. I just didn't really have the energy or time.
Yeah, there's also Anantech. I don't know, but he retired recently, so I don't know if Anantech is still active. I remember when he started that site, he was like, I don't know, 16 or some ridiculous thing. He was a young kid, Anand Lal Shimpi, and it turned it into one of the best tech sites on the internet. And now he's retired to go on and do other things. But it's a really good site for reviews of hardware and stuff like that.
Nice. Hey, Colin, do you still have your correspondence emails with Blake from when you built yours?
I didn't build mine. In the end, I didn't trust myself, so
okay.
Buying a pre-built one.
Okay, cool. Because I remember you were talking with them a lot about it, so I was just curious to maybe.
Yeah, no, I got down.
Take a look at your conversation.
Yeah, no, I got a shopping list and everything like that, but in the end, I just didn't trust myself. It was all going on about was it making sure that there's no static and sort of like you have to buy either a special mat or a special wristband.
Oh,
Yeah, you don't have to do any of that.
Either. No, I never did either. It's like it was like because I had the stupid wristband on, and then you'd reach for something and it would come off its mooring somewhere and knock a piece of hardware on the floor. I never did that. So you just have to be careful. Don't shuffle across the carpet and then handle your.
Just keep a balloon nearby to touch every once in a while to release money.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, or the cat. Zap the cat. Yeah. Yeah, I think if you can afford it, again, the graphics card is the most important thing to keep up there. If you can, don't let somebody talk you into buying better hardware with the idea that you will upgrade your graphics card later, because you probably won't. So if you can spend an extra $100 to get a better graphics card, specifically with like 2 gigs of RAM on it, do it, because you won't regret it.
Right.
Okay,
Then you're in my boat. Of the rest of the computer's fine. I just need a new video card now.
So 2 gigs of RAM, you said?
A VRAM, yeah, a video card RAM. You want a good 8 gigs in the system.
Gigs
if you can do that.
All right. Okay. So let me write that down. 2 gigs of video RAM. And you said 8 gigs of total.
8 gigs RAM in the system, so that's separate from your video RAM.
Okay, so
totally different animal.
2 gigs of RAM system RAM, and then 2 gigs of video RAM.
8 gigs of system RAM. Yeah.
8. Did I say 2? I meant 8. I have that written down. So those are my good baselines to start at then.
I think so.
And video card being the most important, you were saying.
I think so. I mean, what do you think, guys? Is I don't know anything anymore about processors. I know a lot of people still run i5s, but are i7s really the way to go? More than that? I mean, my laptop has an i7 in it.
Yeah, I've got an i5.
That's what I have.
Okay.
So I'm an AMD guy. I don't know. I don't know about those i5s and i7s. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what any of you are talking about. So.
So i5s and i7s are Intel chips, and then as Blake said, there's the AMD chips as well.
Wait, I think I might have. No,
AMD?
AM as in Myers.
Okay, AMD.
I think I might actually have an AMD none in that i5. I think I've got a hex core or something like that. Does that sound like a thing?
Yeah, it sounds like an AMD thing.
Oh yeah, I've got my list here right next to it.
Oh, cool.
Let's see, Devastator Mouse, Corsair, scan value, let's see. Oh, I've got a Gigabyte GA78LMT. Yeah, here we go. An AMD FX 6300, 6-core. Seal, that's crap. And storage, yeah. And a Radeon R9. I think that's 2 gigabyte. Yeah, I think that's my graphics card.
Yeah, they're good. I think AMDs are in general a little bit less. I mean, they're expensive than the Nvidias, but I think they're just as good. So maybe that's another way to go.
Okay.
And I don't think there's any. There used to be all kinds of driver issues and crap like that, but I think a lot of that stuff's been ironed out.
Right.
I mean, when I started the PC gaming, the big thing was OpenGL and all that, and that was back in the Doom days. and Quake, but a lot less to worry about now. I sort of plug and play.
Oh, isn't the future grand?
I love the future.
Just I remember trying to record music back in like the late 90s, early 2000s on like a Windows machine, and it is awful compared to yeah, exactly. Compared to how easy GarageBand is now, it's just kind of like plug and play, everything works. Here you go.
Sometimes everything works.
Well, compared to back in the day, everything works really well.
Yeah, you can actually plug things in. It's recognized. And all
Yeah. You don't gotta delete drivers, add drivers, do this and that. Oh no, I've got this driver added. I can't do this. I need to delete that one and then reload this one. But you guys are used to that with mod. You know, you have to load them in a specific order and all that, right?
Yeah, modding is the modern. Yes, it's the modern equivalent, definitely.
Yeah. Just tear your hair out. Frustrating.
I just put it in Mod Organizer and click sort and just pray for the best.
That works. Yeah.
I click subscribe. And after reading what else is involved with it, but yeah, that's what.
Well, to bring it around to modding, I mean, one of the things recently that's happened is that Steam finally added SKSE, which was huge because for Andrew, SKSE is the script extender that you need. It's a piece of software you need in your Skyrim folder in order to run a lot of the, I won't say better, but a lot of the more complicated or script-heavy mods. And Steam didn't have it available for a long time, but so now people can get it there, and it makes a difference.
Now, I hear you guys talk a lot about this stuff, which it's always above my head. But what is Steam and what is Nexus and what do all these places and websites or whatever you guys go to? What do those mean?
Well, Steam is basically where you buy your game.
Shop.
Yeah.
Okay, Steam is the game store.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what is the Nexus?
The mod
Nexus
store.
is the mod store. Yeah. It's the repository. It's the largest internet repository for mods, not just for Skyrim, but for tons of games.
Mm-hmm.
I forget how many, like 400 games or so.
And does it have a competitor that you guys use as well?
There's a few others out there. There's Lover's Lab. Don't go there when you're at work. There's and surprisingly, I mean, if you go there and check it out, if you don't mind some porn, they actually have some awesome mods on there, and a lot of really helpful people. So it's actually a pretty good site, just not for your 6-year-old kid or your boss. What else is there? I don't know where. I haven't really been to. I know there are a couple of other ones, and there are a few private sites out there. Sands of Time is a big mod package that has its own website. There's a guy called, I think his modder name was Urko or Urkel, who I think got somehow kicked off of the Nexus at one point for some reason. Anyway, he built his own site, and now it's populated with a bunch of mods, which are interesting and pretty good. So, but the safest place to go is Steam. And then you start, and then go to Nexus. I started with Nexus because I looked into both of them, and I did not like the rigidity of Steam and the limited, expandability and so on and so forth. And I just don't like the way they curate their mods, and I don't like the way they curate it on your system. If they will update automatically without telling you, unless you absolutely specifically unsubscribe from the mod once you've loaded it. I don't know if this has changed since I looked at it, but if you subscribe to a Steam mod and you have auto updates enabled, and you're playing along, and you boot up your machine one day, and the mod gets auto updated, and it will kill your game because something doesn't work with some of your other mods, and you don't know why, because Steam doesn't really teach you about those things because it kind of holds your hand a lot. So that's one of the things I just didn't like, that possibility. So I went straight to Nexus, and Nexus has its own mod manager. It's called the Nexus Mod Manager, surprisingly enough, and it's pretty good, and it works well enough for starters. But we use Mod Organizer because it's just more powerful. But so those are your options. I mean, nothing hurts to just go to the Nexus and look at it and see what's there, and open a Steam account that doesn't cost you anything. Go shop around, on the Steam site and look at it. Friend us up on Steam, and check out Steam. Do you know the company called Valve? Make computer games and so on and so forth. That's who started Steam. So.
Cool. Yeah, I just went over to the Steam website here.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
Michael,
also-
are you clicking around in there too?
Yeah, I was just kind of going through it, just
Yeah.
showing what it looked like. I mean, it's pretty basic. Oops, it disappeared. I don't have it open right now. I just accidentally closed it. Oh, there it is. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty basic for what it is. It's I mean, literally, you still have to read everything that's going on there. You still want to, like, before you subscribe to something, you still want to read, like, what requirements it has and things like that, because it's very possible that it's going to have requirements that for things that you don't have, or mods that it's not compatible with, or whatever. So, like, let's see, like Shia LaBeouf here. Let's see. Yeah, and then you can just go down here to this description, and it, tells all this does is replace Fusro-Da. So if you want Shia LaBeouf to say Fusro-Da, I guess.
Oh, it has Shia LaBeouf saying. I was hoping that it changed the shout to
It does.
Shia LaBeouf.
Well, that's taken care of. No thanks to you.
It shows you, I guess. I don't know what happened.
Just do it!
Yeah.
Just do it.
So, like, stupid little things like that.
That is funny.
I have not added that one. So, but then you can go and it shows you what you're subscribed to over here. Like this morning, I added Moon and Star, which I haven't started yet, which is I think a quest, but I need to find that. The arena, which I added. I don't think we talked about that yet. Random alternate start, which is fun, which you randomly start places. Fall Scar, which is fun but incredibly long. Some Archer stuff, and then the rest of my stuff is all just like enhancements to the towns and things like that.
What does it do when you enhance a town?
Oh, adds trees, textures, things like that.
Oh, okay.
Nothing.
Awesome.
Nothing crazy. I think that's all I really have on there. Sounds and graphics stuff. Yeah. It's the unofficial patch, plants and herbs, Milky Way galaxy, better snow,
Deeper snow, yeah.
things like that. Sounds of Skyrim, wilds, dungeons. Like, so there's like the woo voices and stuff.
Scary ghost sounds.
Yeah, basically that's what it is. So that's generally what I add to it. Let's see. Go back. Close that up. There we go. Yeah, so that's it's very simple. You literally just click subscribe, and then it'll update it each time you open Skyrim. And make sure that it's updated, which also can create issues like
Which can kill your game. So.
Yeah. I don't have a lot on there, so it's not. I'm still in the very beginning, so I haven't gone crazy yet. But once I get through, because I'm playing Fall Scar, I just want to finish it. I don't want to start it over again.
Yeah, really.
So I would like to finish up there first before I get into anything more in depth.
That's awesome.
And switch over to Nexus.
All right. Let me go over to the Nexus page and see what that looks like over there, too.
I have it for Oblivion. I use it.
Skyrim Nexus?
Yep.
nexusmods.com/Skyrim? Okay.
Yeah. You can open an account that's it'll show you ads if you don't subscribe to Nexus. It's pretty cheap, and once you've subscribed once, I think it's $4.99 for 30 days or something like that. Once your subscription runs out, you still won't see the ads. You just won't get the better download speeds.
Oh, okay.
So I'm a lifetime member. I just sprung for the lifetime membership.
You can't be waiting on no downloads, Victor.
Unfortunately, now I am. But
well, one of the ones I picked up on the workshop, I think we talked about it before the show, was what's this called? Whiterun Championship Arena. I don't know. It may have been on Access for a while, but it's on. Just came to Steam on the 13th. So as you can see, this is Whiterun. I don't know. Is my screen shared?
Yes.
yeah,
Okay. So this is Whiterun. This is the Whiterun, the Dragon's Reach dungeon over here, and this is the entrance to the arena. So you go through those doors, enter the arena. There's like a whole smithing and crafting area, a bed, like tons, and so many chests that you could never, ever, ever fill them. And if you did, your game would probably break because you would have so much stuff in them. And each one of these is a safe for one of the champions in the arena with loot in it for beating one of the champions.
Oh.
Are there any like really cool, specific to this mod, like enchantments or named weapons or cool stuff in those safes? Have you played through it at all?
I did 3 of them. I kind of cheated. There's ways around things. So when you go into the arena, first you can get this teleport tome. You can teleport right to the place from wherever. So the arena's through here. The entire arena is lined in chains, pull chains. So like starting on the left side, it goes like skeever, like bear, works its way around. Just spriggans, every kind of enemy in the game that you can think of. Bandits, whatever. So on the other wall, on the far wall over here, there's a couple banners, and then there's 8 pull chains over there, and those are the champions that you have to beat to get a key to open the safe.
Okay.
So I think the first one was a Falmer, then it was a Briarheart, then it was something else, and it was some kind of mage. I forget. I did like 6 or 7 of them. But what I did was I went over to the right here. I was sneaking, and there's a giant pull chain. So I pulled that like 3 or 4 times, and there was 3 or 4 giants.
Oh goodness.
So they don't attack you unless you attack them. So I would shoot an arrow at Mr. Briarheart across the way, and he would come running.
Nice.
And then the 4 giants would bash him in the head with a hammer.
That's great.
Like a way around to get the loot without actually doing anything. I kind of just did that to get through it to see what exactly everything was instead of battling the whole time. I guess I could have just turned it down to novice and just killed things in one shot, but I used the giants to beat them.
That's really cool.
So that's pretty fun. But there's all kinds. There's mannequins in here. There's storage. There's a bed. So it's a great house, really.
Huh.
The only drawback is that, see, here's the pull chains for the bosses. The only drawback is there's a little too much loot inside if you're low leveled. So
That's pretty common with these kind of mods. They just over loot them, and it's not balanced well.
But they make you earn the loot, right? You have to kill people to get it, don't you?
Well, not necessarily. For the main loot, yes, but there's 50 health, 50 magic, and 50 stamina potions in a chest.
Oh, jeez.
Well, because it's an arena, so if you're going into battle, I guess it's for that. Kind of like how Oblivion was when you would come out and you would be healed. But all you got to do is just ignore that chest. It's simple. You can just ignore the gear, some of the stuff that's in there. There's not like gear or anything like that, but there's a few soul gems and things like that. So there may be a few things that if you use it as a home early on, that you would want to avoid using.
Man, I'm excited. I hope I get to actually put this computer together here pretty soon.
Yes. And texture-wise inside, I mean, it's not as it doesn't look as good as something like Fallscar.
Yeah, it looks pretty bare bones.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. But I think it can be a fun role-playing thing going through the arena.
Yeah.
You make it your own kind of thing. There's no real story to it, so you can pretty much make it whatever you want, really.
Nice.
As far as I can see, that's not available on the Nexus. There's a sort of a Fight Club kind of thing that's part of the Helgen Reborn quest, but I think
Victor,
yes.
you're forgetting the first rule about Fight Club.
Sorry.
Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
But that's the only one. There's an old arena mod I was looking at on the Nexus, but I haven't tried it. So, but I think that one's only available on Steam.
Okay. Yeah, it's a nice. I would say it's a nice player house, really, because you have every bit of the enchanting, alchemy, smithing that you need. Everything is there.
Are there any load screens in between that? Because one thing I hate is when you build those houses is that there's basically no smithing inside the house, so you have to go through a load screen either to the cellar or a load screen to outside.
No,
so your smithing is separated by, from your alchemy and your enchanting. I always thought that was horrible.
Nope, this is all one room completely.
Excellent.
Yeah, so
Well, you can do all in Skyrim. You can do all your smithing in the Hearthfire houses.
Yeah, mostly. Yep.
Are you talking about the Hearthfire houses, Andrew?
Yeah, you can do an anvil in the back room, but I just don't like having a load screen going into the cellar or going outside to the smithing stuff. I just wish that it was in there in the same room with the alchemy and the enchanting.
But you can do all your smithing on the anvil.
Oh, but what if I need a smelter?
Yeah, the smelter's in this one too. It's in the same.
You'd
room.
want a smelter in your living room?
In this
Oh,
there is, which is kind of.
I hate my children, so yes.
I was gonna say, what kind of husband and father are you?
I always thought it was weird that they would put one in their basement. I'm like,
It seems it keeps the house warm.
yeah, there you go. And
It's like
full of soot.
Radiant heat. That's all.
Yeah.
It's like 1,000 degrees, but
Yeah.
never mind. Don't worry about that.
No, that's cool. I'd totally use that arena as a starter house. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I think it's not overpowered to the point where it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you just ignore one or two things,
Yeah.
and don't cheat like I did in the arena to get like 200,000 gold. Because really, you could run into the arena, unleash all 8 enemies of the champions, run over, sneak over hiding, and pull the giant pull chain like 10 times, leave the arena, close the gate, and stand outside and watch them kill each other. And then go in and collect all the keys and loot. So you could technically do that.
Nice.
I don't know if that's the spirit of it, but you could do it.
I'm also interested in that other mod you've been messing with, Michael. I don't know if you
What's that?
are finished with it. Is it Fall Scar? Is that what you're talking about? It's a whole new quest mod?
Victor, you played like what, 3/4 of it? You said.
Yeah, I played about 3/4 of it. Yep.
Colin finished it, right?
Colin's never played it.
No, Colin's never played it.
Colin did Moonpath to Elsewhere, right?
Yeah.
Oh, how is that? I want to try that.
Yeah, it's good enough. It's a little was it some of the enemies are not particularly tough, but then again, that's the same with Helgen Reborn. The enemies are not tough enough. That Falscar looks good because the enemies look really tough over there, so I might actually have to go and play that. But was it as Victor was saying, there's like an arena type in Helgen Reborn, but they were totally weak. I was only like level 20 or something like that, and they went down way too easy.
Yeah, they were pretty easy. I don't think it was meant to be a real terrible challenge. The hardest boss fight in Helgen Reborn was that Dremora Lord, I think, and even that wasn't that bad.
Yeah, you had to hit him at a specific time, didn't you?
Yeah, I just got. But that's is for expansion mods. That's one of my favorites. It's one of the best done of all of them. Helgen Reborn is
definitely, yeah.
And Felskar is pretty good. Slythe is over at Somerset Isle with that new expansion mod there, and it's really beautiful. It's really nicely put together. The mod author created a bunch of new textures for plants and things, and it's really pretty. As far as the storyline and the voice acting, it's the same thing. It's okay, And one of the things that irritates me the most with some of these is just my background, but are the typos and crappy writing that just really, for some reason, just really frost my buns, and and Falscar was full of them, and somebody, it's so bad that there is actually a mod on Nexus that fixes them all. So,
it's definitely you can definitely tell that it looks like Skyrim basically, but writing wise and acting wise, you can tell it's rough around the edges for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
It's incredibly, like, the conversations are really, really long.
Yes.
So you tend to find, so I'm trying to think about the longest, most drawn out conversations in the regular game. Maybe when
Greybeards.
What's that? Yeah, the Greybeard. Yeah. So, like, imagine the Greybeards times like 5.
But with poor acting.
Yeah.
With not so good acting and voiceover. Yeah.
So,
and that's just simply
and no sexy arm gear either.
No.
But I mean, it is, it people put it together. So I mean, I don't want to crush them on it. It could have used some editing in the audio work or in the script writing.
Script, yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's just simply, it's easy to criticize, and I think it's fair to criticize, but that's something you gain with experience. A company like Bethesda knows exactly how to trim that kind of stuff and make it flow. So.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you figure it's somebody who's either putting it out there as a way to get into the industry or whatever it may be. So they're in the beginning stages. They're not a polished developer. So and they're just probably grabbing people they know to do the voices. So the one guy, the Jarl in the main, he sounds like the Count from Sesame Street.
It's really bad accent.
I always keep waiting for like
Yeah. 1 bandit, 2 bandit. Yeah.
And he talks a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. And he talks a lot in conversations that you can't skip out of.
Yeah.
So that would really be the biggest negative. The one thing like Colin said, the enemies are they're like higher leveled than you're used to almost. I don't know if they bumped up the leveling when you go over to there or not. But I had like a hell of a time with some bandits. I mean, just wiping me out over and over and over again. And they were just bandits, and I was using the bound bow, and I I couldn't do anything against them.
Wow.
And I was like level 23, 22, 23. But they were all higher level bandits, and I couldn't damage them.
Yeah, there were bandit plunderers and bandit highwaymen. I think they're just like a couple of steps below Marauder.
Yep.
Marauder's only 1 step below Chief. So.
Yeah, and there was like 5 of them in the town. And it was just me. It wasn't going real well. I think I dropped it down to Adept, and it was still a struggle.
Was that up on that castle up on the hill there that you have to go and invade? Is that
No, this was down by the docks early on in the story.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I had a hell of a time at that.
Yeah.
Maybe I was just too low leveled going in there, you know what I mean? But maybe they set up the mod because they figured people wouldn't hop into it till later on in the story. But I went in there pretty early on, so I think I was only level like 22 when I started out in Falscar total.
I don't know if he has a recommended level. I'd have to look and see on the Nexus page, but
yeah, I'm not sure. But, it's been fun because it's challenging, and now I have those 2 weirdo brothers running around with me.
Yeah.
So they're nice tanks. They go run ahead and like bash everything.
Yeah, definitely. No, I had 3 followers with me in Falscar, so.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Yeah. Remember, I think I posted a picture of them. I had Lydia and Uthgerd and I forget her name, the priestess of Azura, Alienora. She's pretty powerful. I had all three of them. They were all dressed in Triss Marigold armor. It was great. But it was a powerful trio.
Yeah, there's so many good quest mods that it really just adds a lot of expanse to what's already there.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the new one with the Cowl of Nocturnal. I thought that one would have interested you the most, Michael.
Yeah, I don't know if that's on the workshop, so that's why I got to switch over because I need access to everything.
I think that's an Nexus only mod.
Yeah,
I have it loaded in a couple of games and I've triggered it, but I haven't actually gone to play it yet.
Okay.
But
yeah, because that was a good quest in Oblivion, so to kind of go back down that road again would be fun.
and he's the guy who wrote that is Manny GT, I think. He's an Italian guy who has some good translators. He's written several pretty big adventure mods, so it's pretty stable as far as I mean, he knows what he's doing. So, yeah, I have to go back and play more of Somerset Isle and get through that, sort of report back on it.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be through Fallscar and starting that other little quest mod at some point.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm worried because I'm about to go to a meeting at the table again. So.
Oh no.
Oh no.
The dreaded meeting at the table.
Yeah. And go get a cup of coffee.
Yeah, speaking of drawn out scenes, ugh.
No, this is the second one, and apparently there's more. So.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Oh gosh.
So, hey, Colin, have you been playing with anything new lately?
Not particularly. I've been playing lots and lots of ESO, I'm afraid. I've been playing with Jonarias for my roundtable, but I haven't been playing around with mods. I haven't downloaded any new mods at all recently. I could talk about my previous mods that I've got loaded up, but not any new or sort of like anything fun or exciting that I particularly want to talk about. Just as I said, I've been having a bit too much fun on ESO. I've gotten into the PvP area in Cyrodiil, so I've been doing lots of that.
I'm jealous. Again, I wanted to sort of start it up and play some more, but again, I just can't on this DSL, so just will not work. So I've been playing Wolfenstein instead.
Killing Nazis is always a good time and a good thing as well.
Absolutely.
It's a good lesson for children. You should take that into a school and play it in front of kids at school.
I think so, yeah. Especially with the laser weapon that just basically blows things into little giblets.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, good for their character. Yeah. So how about you, Blake? Anything good?
I haven't really added any more mods yet, but I'll tell you what's dangerous is starting a game. And I guess that's the one good thing about Mod Organizer too, is you can have different games going at the same time, but getting several hours into one and then going back to the Nexus or to the Steam workshop and seeing something, ooh, I could try that, but I don't want to start a new game, and then I just start making a shopping list of stuff I want to make for another playthrough.
Oh god, that's why I have about 30 different characters running in Mod Organizer, so that's why, because I keep finding new things I want to try.
Exactly.
That's one of the big advantages of Mod Organizer, Andrew, is that you can and Steam can't do this at all. You have multiple profiles, all kinds of different games with all different. Each one can have a different set of mods, and they're completely discrete. And there's no no problem switching from one to the other.
Mm-hmm.
It's huge. It's just makes the game so much, for me anyway, because I'm such a tinkerer. It makes things fun, Because I rarely ever get past level 20. I get bored and I start a new character. So it's perfect for that.
Yeah.
The first and easiest mod you can check out is just learning to tinker with the console commands. Because then you can have as much gold as you want. You can be whatever level you want.
You
Yeah.
can force broken quests to skip to a certain point. I've had a few broken things before that have been like, wish I had a console command right about now.
Yeah, and you can royally screw yourself too.
Yeah.
And make your game
Break a game.
completely unusable. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun you're turning on God mode and just wading through. But yeah, it's fun.
Hmm.
Well, I've been playing around with this new perk overhaul called Ordinator that just came out a little while back. It's yet another complete I don't know what you call it, revamp or re-envisioning of the perks. It's a lot of fun. It's got some cool perks that I haven't seen any. Let's see. Illusion has this one called Imposing Presence, which gives you a buff if you. I gotta pull up the page here. That's right there. Let's see, under Illusion. Thank God he's got this alphabetized. Let's see, Imposing. You radiate an aura of mystical charisma that touches all within 20 feet. Any illusion spell you cast on those affected is 20% more powerful and lasts 40% longer. And you can get that at illusion of level of 30, which is cool. He's made all of the he calls them mastery. I don't know what you'd call them in vanilla, but as your level increases, you get more damage. What do you call that? I don't know. Or things become more effective, and most of those are at the bottom of the tree and don't require any more than about a level 20 or 30 in whatever skill it is. So you can buff up your stuff pretty quickly and then work your way up through the trees that have some pretty cool things in them. It's got stacking effects in archery that are kind of cool. There's a tripwire perk in the sneak tree where you can throw it on a tripwire, and when it gets activated, it like slashes through everybody that's near you. It's kind of cool. It's nice. It's a lot of fun. So I have that loaded up with my skooma dealer character. So I've been playing a lot of that.
Heisenslythe?
Well, yes, Heisenslythe. Yep. Poor Heisenslythe had he met the stray dog early on up on the shore, the northern shores near Winterhold, and I really enjoyed that stray dog for a while.
I love that stray dog.
Yeah,
He's he likes to get lost though.
Yeah, well, I renamed him Stickeen because I have a mod that allows you to do that, and then I killed him.
Yeah,
I felt bad.
He's not nearly as tough as Barbas or Vigilance.
No, but he's pretty powerful, but he's not but he's easily killed if you shoot him with a couple of glass tipped arrows.
Yeah.
So.
Friendly fire. He's pretty susceptible to that.
Yeah. So he's gone, sadly. But so I went and bought a horse to dry my tears.
You said horse, right?
Horse, yes, horse.
Colin.
What was that? What are you showing there, Michael?
Oh, I have
Ordinator, yeah.
Ordinator up there.
Yeah, I was going to do that, but I was afraid to.
No, I don't. That's fine. It's having a hard time even. Stuff's running really slow for me right now.
Yeah, well, that's why, because it's got there's videos on there and everything else.
Yeah.
I was afraid I'd bog it down, so I didn't want to. But yeah, there's Ordinator. I haven't read up on a lot of reviews on it of other people, and I haven't read. There's a really active forum community on the Nexus, and people are pretty good about writing good reviews, clear and fair reviews. I haven't read anything about it. I see it's already on a later version than I have. So that's all right. Those kind of things are usually updatable, but But yeah, Ordinator's fun. It's
Yeah, let's see. Here we go. Here's some
Ooh,
of the,
Hailstorm.
yeah.
haven't
Attack
tried
20%
Hailstorm
faster with
yet.
bows and crossbows for 15 seconds after shooting fully. Drawn bow crossbow in combat. This effect stack. Ooh, it stacks.
Yeah,
Nice.
That's one of those stacking effects. Yeah.
What
So,
tree is that?
That's the archery tree.
Archer tree. Wow.
Yeah, so let me go back to that. Sorry, I had to turn the screen on so it was actually showing on YouTube.
Oh, whoops! So they haven't been showing on
So
YouTube yet?
until this time.
But it was it was going back and forth. So yeah. Yeah, so there's that one. Let me close that. Oops. There we go. And then there's this
Warrior's Flame.
Warrior's Flame, Overflowing Cup, Unquenchable Touch.
One of the nicest things about Ordinator, it's like Spurg. It does not require lots of patching and stuff like that. Some of the perk overhauls like Skyrim and Perma just require a huge amount of. It's a fairly big learning curve and lots of curating and hand holding and.
Grand Slam.
Just the pendulum.
Razor Wind, Bisect. Bisect sounds
Well,
interesting.
look at the description of the pendulum. It's like enemies who are hit by 2 sideways power attacks with a warhammer within 6 seconds get knocked off their feet. That seems kind of bullshit.
It's just another perk. I mean, you can take it or not. That's the fun thing about these things. Why not?
That's a pretty good one. I mean, because you would fall if you know that had happened.
It took me a full year before I figured out you could do a horizontal power swipe with a warhammer.
Yeah, you have to push the direction.
Yeah, I have to push a direction.
You have no magicka. Your first 100 spells cost no magic.
What? That's crazy. Sleep to recharge half your spell slots. Huh.
Yeah, so that's some of them there.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's fun to play, especially if you play, a lot of the game. It's nice to change it up a little bit and add some new stuff like that. There's in the archery tree. There's one called Advanced Lab that you can designate one alchemy lab as advanced, and it'll make everything you make there 20% stronger.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
And does that stack with your other?
I don't know. I assume so. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Watch out for that bear trap, buddy.
Lockpicking bait? Is that something that's part of it, I guess?
Lock-picking bait.
Yeah. Let me see if I haven't done anything in the lockpicking tree yet. So.
There's Quake Drum, Illusion, Lamb to the Slaughter, Destruction, World in Flames, Alteration, Pickpocket, and Sneak Smokescreen. Oh wow.
Yeah, that's a level 70 in lockpicking. It grants the bait power once a day, lures the nearest target within 200 feet to the location of the nearest bear trap placed within 50 feet, lasts for 60 seconds.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
So that's quite a bit of stuff.
Oh, there's tons of perks. Yeah, it's a little maybe heavy with them, but still it's fun.
Yeah, but if you played it enough, it's nice to get a different feel after a while.
Yeah, totally.
There we go. Yeah, so that was. Let me pick out of that. And I'll stop sharing. There we go.
Yes, don't want to overshare, Michael.
Yes, we don't want to share too much. So, but yeah, that gives people an idea of what's on there. So
great.
now, how many mods do you load up, and where do you find like the breaking point where it slows your game down?
That's totally dependent on how well you curate the mods. I mean, there's a mod, or there's a limit of 255 and plugins. So one mod may have more than one plugin. So that's not necessarily the 255 mods. You can get past that by merging mods in Mod Organizer. Mod Organizer will also recognize mods that can be where there's empty BSAs because they're for whatever reason. Anyway, you can deactivate those in the plugin window and gain yourself a slot. But honestly, I never run with more than about 140, 150, and it depends on how much scripting you have going on. That's the big thing that really kills the system. That and lots of textures and meshes and things. If you don't have a powerful graphics system, then tons of textures, meshes are going to really bog your system down. But if you're running a lot of mods with scripts are things like Frostfall, that adds hypothermia, and obvious things like that. Needs mods like realistic needs and diseases, but also ones that aren't necessarily so obvious, like the mod footprints, which is nifty. It gives all your character footprints wherever they go, but
Nice.
those are decals, and it's scripted, and and wet and cold, which makes your character and your NPCs all breathe little mists from their mouths when they're in cold weather, and put hoods on in the rain and things like that. It's really nice and very immersive and all that, but it adds a lot of scripting. So that's the kind of thing you really need to watch out for. And if your game starts to hitch, then that's usually scripts that are running and stopping the game for a split second and stuff, and then of course there's the train wrecks that happen with scripts. That's when you just crash the desktop.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So that can happen too.
Oh yeah, I think that's far less likely with Steam because they are well curated and I mean you as long as you read the descriptions and stuff, you generally don't have bad problems with that. When you're going a little more complex with the Nexus and rolling your own, then you really have to watch load orders and things like that. So yeah, but anyway. Like Blake says, just press sort and let Mod Organizer take care of it.
Sort and pray,
Sort and pray. Yep.
Haven't they removed the sort button on the latest?
Yes,
update?
they did. Yep. But they removed the sort button, but I think isn't loot still built in? It's just at the top instead of a sort button. So it's a more complete version of loot.
Because I had to download and install loot into Mod Organizer separately.
Oh, did you? Okay, I don't remember. I already had it installed, so I didn't know that you had to do that. Okay.
Yeah, I've still never updated. I've just kept it from the beginning of the Modcast.
Same here. I haven't updated it because I'm still in the middle of my Jonaria playthrough, and as Michael knows, and you know from this morning, Blake, don't fucking update your shit in the middle of the stuff because
Yeah, exactly.
it fucks with crap.
That's right.
I leave it well alive now.
Yeah.
I'll wait until that playthrough's over and then I'll update it.
Yeah. Or read up on it. And I've done stuff like with one of my characters, because I wanted to try and break the game if I could, but also at the same time try not to. So I have an Argonian whose name is Tests Many Things. So I took him and I was using Spurg, I think, and I decided to convert over to Perma, which is a very huge, complex perk overhaul, and very finicky about patches and things like that. And I got this mod that strips all of your perks, so it takes them all out and just gives you back, the perk upgrades, but takes all your trees and basically strips everything out. Did that, saved, did blah blah, and loaded Perma, which they tell you not to do it in the middle of a game. Loaded it up and followed all the instructions carefully and redid all my perks, and he was fine. So you can do it. You just have to be willing to suffer the consequences if if you don't do it carefully.
When I loaded up Finis, which is it changes how you it adds extra animations to the character, so you'll use the sword in a different way, add kill moves and things like that. But that's only the control part of it. You have to install other mods that change it, so they can do like the Gangnam dance and they can fly and things like that. And I downloaded that, and it went tits up, and I had to delete everything and restart completely from the beginning.
Oh,
I had
boy.
to completely delete the whole of Skyrim and then re-download it back down from Steam. So
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened. Huh. Because I've used FNIS a few times, and it's like, with mixed results, but I've never had it really fork my game. I just sort of,
this
you got
was
to run
early.
the updater.
Yeah, this was early on in my modding, so it's like when I first started, and it got into everything. It was in I think I must have installed it wrong, because although I was on Mod Organizer, it was in multiple profiles and ruined everything. So
wow.
I got it wrong. So that is always a possibility. FYI.
Yeah, well, yeah. Not to say that you didn't, but yeah, obviously, the first it can, even if you do RTFM, it can still get screwed up. But that's the first rule of modding: is read the fucking manual. Yeah, and then you can still get screwed. And I always go to the especially on the Nexus. Especially a mod that's fairly complex, I'll always go to the posts section and read through the first 3 or 4 pages of posts to see what people have been saying about it and problems they've been having. And the mod authors on Nexus will often put sticky posts at the top of the section, so you can read through those too. The stuff that's more immediate than is necessarily in the description page. So it always pays to read through that stuff.
Readings for chumps.
Yeah.
Life will tell you.
Close your eyes.
That's right. Just message Victor if you got any trouble. He'll get you straightened out.
That's it.
Listen, I don't fucking know.
Yeah. I'll DX you my computer and go fix this.
Yeah.
Now, where's the best places for information, YouTube-wise? Is it Gopher?
Gopher is the king for sure. That guy is so good at at creating really good tutorials. I mean, they are almost, if there was such a thing as mandatory when it comes to modding, which is a completely fun and voluntary activity, watching Gopher's videos is as close to mandatory as you can get. They will educate you so much. If you don't mind sitting through them, and they're well done, so there's nothing boring about them. Well worth it. Absolutely.
He is Mancunian though, so there is that.
That's sort of like being from Georgia, right?
That's right.
I'm not too sure. My boss is from Manchester, so he has the extra added bonus of being from that game.
Yeah. So maybe it's more like being from New York around here. I don't know.
Like Manchester's in the. Maybe it's like being from Boston.
Isn't Manchester in the north
Yeah,
of
it's in
England?
the north. Yeah.
Yeah.
Manchester, England.
North.
My boss was from Leicester.
Leicester, yeah.
Leicester.
Yeah. I learned early on how to pronounce it correctly.
Yeah. Not Worcester, Worcester.
Yeah.
Worcester.
The best one that people just can never seem to learn is Haverhill, which is Haverhill.
They say Haverhill? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or Leominster.
Leominster, yeah. Yeah.
Not Wachusett. As we go. Massachusetts.
Yeah. You've obviously driven across Route 2.
My aunt lives right at down the road from Mount Wachusett.
Oh yeah, okay. That's a nice mountain.
Yeah, it's a nice little area. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
In that Leominster, Worcester kind of area. I forget exactly what town that is.
It's near Gardner.
Gardner, that's it. Yeah,
Yep.
that's it. It's been a while since I've been up there.
Yeah, no.
This has been the Skyrim Addict Massachusetts cast.
Yes. Podcast from assholes.
Go see the foliage. Go. Next week we'll be doing Indiana.
No one wants to do that.
And on your right you have a cornfield.
Yeah.
We phased out corn long ago. It's all soybeans now.
Soy, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And a flood on the left.
Yeah.
You know, it flooded more than it ever has in Indiana the first half of the summer, and we haven't seen a drop in weeks now. It's been
Oh,
crazy.
really? Wow. That's too bad.
Oh man. So does anybody else have any mod questions or things they
Can I just run down my little checklist that we were talking about earlier?
go for it?
So first and foremost, I need to set a budget,
Yeah.
according to Blake and everyone. Then a graphics card is something I need to be investing in with no integrated graphics, according to Victor.
No.
Right.
Do you have a ballpark figure on what a decent graphic card will run?
I don't know, Blake. I mean, it's like between 150 and 300 probably. I know that's a broad range, but...
No, that's a good range to know, though. Okay.
Right.
Well,
Yeah, I'd say $150, $300.
Unless
Okay.
you're top end, then you're like,
500 or whatever.
Yeah, or 1,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fighting cards. You don't want anything like that right now anyway.
No,
You don't really need it either.
Yeah. And Victor said for speed and stuff, an SSD, a solid state drive, is important.
If you can get, I mean, they make these hybrid drives. I don't know. Are those like extra expensive? I don't have one. I've never tried to. It's a mechanical drive, but also has an SSD built into it. So you put your operating system on the SSD, and then I don't know if that's worth looking into or not. But I have my I have a 240 gig SSD that's just for Skyrim.
Just Skyrim.
That's dedication.
Well, it's just for mods, basically. Yeah. There's about 120 gigabytes of mods in there. So.
Oh, good lord. Also, I need to make sure I have 2 gigs of RAM for the video. Is that the video card?
VRAM, yes.
yeah.
VRAM.
Shoot
Okay.
for the 64-bit version of Windows.
64-bit?
Windows, yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's one thing you got to think about. You got to buy Windows all over again if you don't already have a copy, and then you could probably
Yeah,
just
and that's
upgrade it to-
another benefit of just buying the damn computer. It comes
Yeah,
with it.
it's going to be on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have? Yeah, definitely. Do you have a computer that runs like XP or something like that?
I have an older laptop that does, but it's janky. I don't trust it at all. It crashes pretty frequently and stuff. So
Yeah, but I believe if you have XP, the Windows 10 upgrade is free, isn't it?
Right.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
So you may not have to buy Windows. I don't know.
All right, well, I'll have someone talk me through that process later. And 8 gigs of RAM just for the system RAM.
Yep.
So 2 gigs video RAM, 8 gigs system RAM, and then a chip, either an i5 or A7 Intel chip
Nice.
or an AMD chip. Colin said AMD FX 600 or a 6-core or something like that. Is that what you said, Colin?
Yeah, 6 core is what I have, but
Okay.
if you want to play Elder Scrolls 6, maybe you want to go i7.
Oh God! By the time that comes out,
i9 by then.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
But that is something that's easily upgraded, right? I mean, it's just the cost of the money, but I can
Not
swap that out.
necessarily.
Oh no?
It has to
Okay.
be compatible, right, with the motherboard.
Right.
Yeah. Because new chipsets usually there's a new socket or the motherboard can't handle the new thing, or you've got to upgrade the BIOS, or there's all kinds of things. So, however, if you get a lower end chip of a certain family, you're going to be able to get better chips from that same family for several years. They just won't be the latest chip.
So, is there any benefit to me waiting until closer to the release of Elder Scrolls 6 before
Certainly not.
No.
Never.
Yeah, you really don't know when that's going to happen. So,
Yeah.
but you might want to wait and see what the specs are for Fallout 4.
That's
Wow,
okay.
true.
They
Yeah.
haven't announced those yet.
Not usually. I think they usually say a month before release. They
Okay.
in that general range.
And you guys suggested Tom's Hardware as my reference site.
I think that's what it's called.
So, okay, right now I have a budget graphics card, an SSD, a processor, chip, and RAM
Case.
case.
Yeah, you're gonna need that.
Hard drive.
I'll just pile everything on the desk, right?
Yeah.
All wired up on the desk.
A hard drive.
Blinky
Right.
lights.
RAM sticks.
Blinky.
Anybody use? I mean, does anybody think a CD or a DVD drive is worth having anymore?
I had to install Windows.
Uh,
Because
okay.
I tried to leave it out, but I had to have a CD drive to install Windows.
Okay.
You can't do that from purchasing it online or anything? That is ridiculous.
Right.
Well,
I mean,
not-
I
I
you
guess-
can't even turn the computer on, really. There's
Right, that's a
no
chicken and
operating
egg
system.
thing.
You could use another computer at your house though to help with that, facilitate that process. No, come on.
Maybe not. I have heard that the Windows 10 upgrade, if it isn't available yet, when it is, they're going to sell it on USB sticks.
Oh, there you go.
there you go.
Have any of y'all
So-
took the Windows 10 upgrade?
Not
no,
yet.
not yet. I'm afraid to at this point. I'm still waiting just to see how's it been.
It was seamless. Everything,
Really?
it didn't delete anything. Everything was still there. Everything worked.
Except for your mic.
Yeah, except for the mic. It almost just feels like a skin for Windows, really.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, do you still go right to the desktop, or do you, I mean, the whole sort of tiles thing is
tile-
gone?
Yeah, the only way you get tiles now is when you move over to like the start icon in the bottom left corner. It'll pop
Uh-huh.
up with some tiles. But that's the only place I've seen them.
Okay.
And it just boots right to the desktop. I mean, it boots
Everybody
up a lot
seems
faster.
to like it. Yeah, everybody seems to like it a lot. So maybe I'll have to try it. I'm just afraid of, I don't know, driver issues with my NVIDIA card or something like that. Just not having
Right.
a good time with it.
Well, AMD sent me an update for my video card, and I mean, I had some like flicker issues and stuff when first swapped over. Within a week or two, they had sent an update, and it's been fine ever since.
Hmm. Yeah, I'll probably wait until later in the fall when things have smoothed out a little bit more.
Right?
Yeah, I filled out the email for it, but or filled out the thing to be able to download it, but haven't done it yet. I haven't received the email yet anyway, so I'm like, I think I'll just wait until I see how everything goes for everyone.
Yeah.
I'll just wait until they're pre-built into the new computers and buy one of those.
There
There
you
you
go. That too. That's a good option too.
Just sucks that every time a new game comes out that is, slightly higher in the ranks, that you'd have to buy a whole fucking system every time you want to play a new game.
Oh no, you don't have to. I just used to all the time because I had the money and I wanted to.
Yeah.
That's really that's what it is. If you can, go for it.
Go for it. Yeah.
Not just upgrade or do whatever you can do,
Yeah.
And some people, it's more about the graphics. Some people, it's more about the game. Yeah, it all depends on what you enjoy most about it,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think anything you build with those specs right now will probably play things, like The Witcher 3 and stuff like that. I know my laptop does, and on medium settings. So if you shoot for medium setting, I think Bethesda is fairly well known for not being terribly hard on systems, right? I mean, but Fallout 4 might be. Who knows?
Yeah, there's a lot involved with that, so it might be
Yeah.
more taxing.
Somebody was saying something about they're going to cap the game at 30 frames per second or something.
Oh my God, that's going to cause so much gnashing of teeth. And
God.
Say
I
it,
have to
like,
say
guys.
that it does make a difference, but I don't really care one or the other. I'm sorry, Colin, what were you saying?
No, it's just that there's people saying that's definitely going to happen, and there's other people saying that it definitely won't happen because Bethesda that aren't a complete pack of morons, so why would they do that to? No.
Well, so that it's more
customers.
console compatible. That's what they want the game to be, available on as many systems as possible. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, and I mean that's where they make their money in the end.
Yeah. I mean that I think that's part of what happened to the Batman game on the PC that got pulled off of Steam.
Oh
right.
yeah, Arkham Knight.
Yeah. It was all those. It was a lot of frame rate issues and stuff like that. It was a crappy port. I think that was the big thing. But where'd Andrew go?
Oh, he had to head out.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't see the chat there. But anyway, yeah. I don't know. Does anybody have an opinion on frame rate? I mean, 60 looks nice, but
Yeah, it
I
looks
can play
great,
30.
but I don't have an issue playing 30. I mean, that's generally what most TV is in anyway.
Yeah.
I play games on so many older crappy PCs where I was getting like 12 frames a second. If I could get a stable 30, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, to me,
There
as
you
long
go.
as it's stable, that's all that really matters to me.
Yeah, definitely.
I want stability.
No, I want the max level.
I'm sure the some certain types of PC people, though, will be flipping out.
Oh, yeah.
Totally. I mean, Skyrim doesn't really play very well over 60. Weird things start to happen at really high frame rates in Skyrim.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it has to do with the physics system, or things will fly around, and yeah, it's
Like mammoths. Yeah.
mammoths. Yeah, come dropping out of the sky.
That happens anyway, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
that just happens. Normal game. So.
If they thought about it ahead of time, they should have put a banner attached to its tail as it's flying across the sky.
Oh,
You know,
God.
like
right.
ESO Online, Tamriel Unlimited, as the mammoths flying through the air.
Oh dear.
Oh, man. So it was.
Buy Falmer Blood Elixir.
Oh God. Is that all we got?
Yeah, I think so. It was good.
Yeah.
It was fun.
What my stuff here? What's going on? Oh yeah, that's more funny.
So
So
maybe next time, if you finished Falscar, I'll try to finish Somerset Isle. We can talk about those and then talk about Mod Organizer.
Yeah, sounds good. That sounds good to me. I'm gonna work on finishing that up. I'm dreading my next part of that.
Yeah. Yes.
That's an advertisement for the Modcast. Oh, I'm dreading playing this one.
I'll take one for the team.
I'm gonna go sit in that chair and listen to them talk. That's what I'm gonna do.
I'm not gonna like it, god damn it.
Right. At least I won't be dying over and over and over.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It depends on how he pronounces those words. Or
Unless you're dying from boredom. Right?
yeah. He finally turns into that count and sort of drinks your blood.
Oh God, I wouldn't doubt that. Yeah, so I'm interested in how that story will go, and I definitely want to hop into some of the other stuff and switch over to the Nexus, so there's more things available.
Cool.
It's a wise choice.
Yeah, that arena's pretty nice though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I found some cool stuff on Steam, and then I just kind of made note of what I liked and looked for it over on the Nexus.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, be aware that particularly with Mod Organizer, but I think also with Nexus Mod Manager, you aren't tied to one or the other exclusively. I mean, you can download a Steam. Well, you can download a Steam mod, right, and unsubscribe, but it's on your system. You just it'll be handled by the Nexus Mod Manager or Mod Organizer as long as you install them into those mod managers correctly.
Yeah, just installed it there. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's
I have a couple of Steam mods installed in Mod Organizer.
Blasphemer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
Well, that was back when they went to paid mods. I bought one called Purity and put that on my system.
I think we're gonna try out like Frostfall and a few things like that when I switch over.
Yeah, he is about to release, maybe in October. I don't know exactly what the date is. A whole complete rewrite of that.
Oh wow.
Frostfall 3.0.
Wow.
So yeah, stay tuned.
That'll be good timing.
Watch as your nipples turn 3 different shades of blue.
Exactly, and then fall off.
You're frozen.
Yeah.
Well, that's I guess that's all we have for this time. We'll figure out another time.
Sounds good.
I think we have a roundtable in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
2 weeks,
Yeah.
something like that. Somewhere in that range, that general vicinity. So we'll figure out a time. Won't be too long.
Sounds good.
And I guess that's it. Goodbye.
That's the wrap. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.